And it's moving day. I am taking all of my Lego and moving it over to the other side of the basement.
Okay, so I got some of the tables moved over here. Um, and I'm actually, this is another reason why I love this DJI camera, because I can put this on my phone and you can see me, or I can see me seeing me. So I know that I've got the camera set up right and I can adjust it. But, anyways, um, so I moved some of the tables over. I've just got to hang up the rods for the curtains that are going to go around. And again, I'm super lucky. I had a whole bunch of these um, rods that I got from IKEA left over, along with some of these. Did I say rods? Some of these hangers that I bought with the rods that were left over. Um, so normally you would mount this into the wall like this, put your screws in, and then this little piece would slide from here, have the hook, and you set the rod in here. The way some of my joists are set up, I'm actually just going to take this and flip it this way so that I can have it hang below the joist, and then I'll screw in here and then have the rod sit in here like it's supposed to. So,
All right, here's a quick time lapse of everything being installed. So I'm just going through, starting to measure everything out, hang up those brackets that I was showing you, and then once we have the brackets hung, I can go back in and put up the curtain rod. Now the one thing I did want to check was I wanted to set up all my boxes to make sure that everything would fit in this workspace that I was thinking of using. And thankfully, I think everything came together really well. So now it's back to work on hanging the curtains up. I just used these little curtain clips that I'll show a little bit later on in the video. And then once I had everything kind of roughly installed, I went back in and adjusted all the clips to where I wanted them to be. 4 sheets later, we have the distance covered. I took all the Lego that I was moving and I'm putting it on this table as a temporary solution until I can get some more custom tables built for this area.
okay, it's been a few days. I think we've got a pretty good amount of progress. I got the window covered up. I got everything moved over onto this one table over here. And then we got Sheet City, which is which is kind of just meant to be mostly a white backdrop. So the really cool thing, I saved myself quite a bit of money just by stuff that I already had. Like I mentioned, I had all of the leftover curtain rods. I even had these little clips that I hung up on here that I'll show you a little bit of a closer up view. And then the sheets, that's what I ended up hanging up here. I bought a 6-pack from Amazon and they were only like 30 bucks. And let me flip you around and show you. So these are the hooks that I had left over that I bought from a long time ago. So basically they're like curtain hooks. They hang on this rod and then they have clips that you can just pinch onto here. The length of these curtains ended up, I mean, you can see how they like just skim the floor like perfectly. So I ended up getting really lucky with the way that this laid out, and then the way that I ended up having all this stuff left over. So here's the basement. I actually have this whole section that's left open, but I felt a little selfish taking the whole entire basement for myself. I wanted to leave some room for the family to put or do stuff. I don't really even know if we'll end up using the space that's over here for anything, but this is kind of what it looks like from the backside. So I left myself a little doorway over here. And the cool thing, the sheet actually acts as a really good diffuser for this big light right here. But again, you can just see like the length worked out perfect. I ended up using 4 of the sheets out of that pack. So I actually have 2 left over. So if I wanted to put another little piece over here that will angle this off, I could. But this still leaves me with all of this room over here, and I think this is plenty of room. Like, it's going to take me years to fill up this space alone. And then you walk back around from here, and then we've got this little section that I've separated just to be kind of like a filming area and building area, with just some of these sets as the background that I think make a pretty cool backdrop. And then we've got part storage underneath. And sometimes my daughter likes to come down here and build with me, so she's got her own little table here. And then we actually have this, both sides of this over here to work with if we feel like we needed to, or if I feel like I needed to add more space in here. The next thing that I do need to get, I want to get like a big area rug that will cover this space. There's actually some of this, um, it's just like a cut to length carpet that Home Depot has, and it's a lot cheaper than buying like an actual area rug, and it's gray and it's neutral. So I want to get something that will cover most of this space just to kind of help with sound dampening and make things just a little bit more comfortable to walk around on. And then once we have the carpet laid down, then I want to build the main table that will go in the middle of the room, and then eventually we'll get to a point where we start building those diorama tables that will go around the outside. The only other thing that I'm still considering doing, because I have leftover sheets, if you will, and I was going to buy actual curtains, but there's really hardly any difference at all. Like, they make these white backdrop curtains, but seriously, there was virtually no difference between those and a sheet, essentially, other than those were way more expensive. But I'm debating whether or not to cover up this. Like, most of this is white, but you can kind of see whatever little branding is on here. I don't know. I don't think it's that obtrusive in the videos, but let me know what you guys think. Is it worth buying a little bit of extra stuff to surround the rest of this space and make it all white? Now, if you think this is ghetto, congratulations. That makes two of us. I don't think this is like a permanent thing, but I don't know what the city and the build space will look like in a few years from now. I don't know what we're going to do as a family with the basement, so I don't want to commit to anything permanent. But also, it probably would have cost, even just to section off this area like we did with wood and sheetrock and stuff like that, it would have cost probably almost $10,000. Like, I don't know if you can tell from the space. Like, it's a pretty large space. I actually haven't measured this out. Maybe I'll do that and then kind of give you an idea of the size. Okay, so just this square space that I'm standing in is about 16 by 20 feet. So it's pretty big, especially if it's just a space dedicated to Lego. It would have cost a lot of money to finish, is what I'm trying to say. And if, let's say it would have cost $10,000, if somebody would have come to me and said, hey, here's a $10,000 gift card to Home Depot so you can finish part of your basement for your Lego room, or here's here's a $10,000 gift card to the Lego store, you bet your ass I would take the $10,000 gift card to the Lego store. Because $10,000 worth of Lego is a lot. So that's kind of how I thought about this whole process and moving everything over to this side of the house. So I'm going to keep you guys updated as we make a little bit more progress over here with getting like the rug and stuff installed. And you can see what I mean by this sheet being kind of like a natural diffuser. The lighting in here actually worked out really well. So I'll keep you guys up to date on how we progress with things over there and building the tables and things like that. If you have any other ideas that you think would be good to put over here or adjustments that I can make, let me know. I'm always open to any ideas that you guys have. Put them in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.